Hey everybody. Hi beasties and non-Patreons. How are you doing? I don't know if this is a good way to start a video, but I feel out of practice. This has never happened before, I think, in the whole time I've been uploading videos about tarot on YouTube. I am filming this the day before it's supposed to upload. Now, I put that schedule on me, okay? So every 2 weeks there's a video that comes out on YouTube. And you know what? I do have some really interesting videos planned and researched videos planned. This is not going to be that today. Today it's going to be hang out with me, and I'm just going to talk about some decks and actually starting off with a book. An incredible gift that I got for my birthday. Two friends got me this. It's, I want to say, antique book about a play called Lilith, and it's in French, and it's beautiful, beautiful language, and it's also really cheeky and funny so far. I'm halfway through, and I'm just going to show you some illustrations. So let's start there. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like, and just have a moment of let's relax into the weekend. So this is where I'm at. Can you see? Le paradis terrestre. These are incredible illustrations. I want you guys to see. Honestly, oops. It should be a deck. Oh, I messed up the cover. Honestly, it should be a deck because it's so cool. It's in the Garden of Eden. And then, wait, I want to show you Lilith transforming into a snake. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Haha. Let me just read out loud a little part of it, and you'll see how beautiful it is. Let me find a nice passage, because there were moments where I thought, wow, that sounds as beautiful as Zes by Magma, an incredible French prog rock jazz band. They've been around for a while. The moment where Satan is cast out. Satan dit, cette créature n'est pas déplaisante, mais elle sent un peu la boue. Jéhovah répond, tais-toi, l'orgueil ne te convient pas. Où donc sont tes œuvres? C'est à moi de me glorifier, à moi seul. Va-t'en, tu seras au nombre des méprisables. Satan répond, soit, mais j'emmène mes Néphilim. N'entraîne pas tes frères dans ta perdition. And the Nephilim answer, Satan est notre prince, nous suivrons Satan. We will follow Satan. Jéhovah answers, eh bien, soyez tous maudits. Satan dit, Seigneur, cette imprudente parole nous délie de notre serment d'obéissance. Nous nous ferons un plaisir, Seigneur, de traverser vos voies. Nous serons vos éternels contradicteurs. Il faudra compter avec nous, Seigneur. Vous êtes le jour, adorable Jéhovah, je serai la nuit. Force contre force. Le royaume dont tu m'as dépouillé, je te le reprendrai par les moyens que tu ne soupçonnes pas, bon Jéhovah. Mon heure viendra, trône contre trône. Ah, tu veux me faire adorer l'homme? C'est lui qui m'adorera. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's also quite funny to me that this character, Satan and Jehovah, got in their very first fight, which ended up in Satan being thrown out because Satan said that Adam smelled a bit like mud in this version. Anyway, I'm beyond thrilled with this gift because it's so niche. It's exactly the type of weird shit that I love. You know, it's demon lore, etc., and beautiful vintage. I said antique, but I don't really know actually. Looks like antique, really. Book. Ugh, and you know, why not in French, in I believe its original language. So, yeah. Okay, so I had a question last video, which was about my deck collection, and I asked the question, does this deck elevate my practice? Someone asked, what do you really mean with does this deck elevate my practice? Well, okay, a really good example, maybe that's, no, it's a good example. You guys know I can't go without Crow's Magic Tarot. So obviously this is basically my favorite deck, right? Alongside Triomphe della Luna. So it, I don't know if it's a good example, but it's what I have right now at hand. And this deck elevates my practice, meaning I learn from it every time I read with it. So I don't only gain insight about my situation at the moment when I do readings with this deck or readings for other people. I also feel like I'm becoming a better reader, you know, a better tarot reader, but also this deck is basically tarot and oracle in one. You know, it's not exactly or not at all the study of systems, because there's Thoth in there, or Thoth, we should say, right? I know. Or Smith-Waite. I don't know if there's Marseille in there, its own astrological way of doing things, which I don't really pay attention to be honest. But you see, it's not a deck I use to study any system with. It's a deck I find incredibly powerful and loving, and I work with it in a almost working with deity way. So it elevates my practice because of what I said. I feel even though it doesn't follow a system, there's something about the depth that I find in this deck that I feel every time I read with it, I really do gain something more than just practicing the tarot in a system way. I really gain, I don't know, maybe it feels like I'm training my intuition. I know it's a little bit vague, but I do feel overall it makes me a better reader. And it's not just about tarot, since this deck is also connected to entity, I prefer to say, rather than deity, but you know, so it's spiritual in different layers, and it connects the tarot, which is a language that I speak, with magical practice, right? And how I see the universe, and how I see the world, and how I relate to it, and how I see how it's reflected within me, and how I try to pick up signs on what the rules of this place truly are, and everything behind the scenes, right? I think that's a pretty big big thing regarding, yeah, Crow's Magic Tarot for me. And then here I said in a kind of a laughing way how Terrestrial Tarot, which is another deck I love, but it's so different, does not at all elevate my practice. So maybe I was a little bit harsh, because obviously this deck is all about intuition, but the images, I love them, okay? They are little beasties. They are in the same realm for me as Triomphe della Luna, paradoxical, obviously, and Crow's Magic. It's just different sides, I guess, of the same similar world and similar realm, which in my experience I inhabit as well. And these little crazy, freaky creatures, there's a lot of buttholes. Uh, they they're part of that world as well, without a doubt. Like, you step into the Triomphe realm, you prick your foot on this little star-shaped hedgehog. There you go. And then at first you're upset and you start cursing, saying all the bad words and hopping on one foot, and your foot is bleeding. But then you look down and you see that it's actually a cute little Furby that you want to hug, but you can't because it's very spiky. But still you're friends, and you find their soft spot where they actually like being petted. Is that a word? Being petted? Being pet? And so that's the thing. At first, these little creatures, this looks like a turtle to me. At first, these little creatures may look a little bit gross, a little bit weird, very strange. They may smell, I don't know. They may make an unpleasant sound, and they may look a little scary, but upon closer inspection, basically the second glance that you give them, you realize that they're very cute and very sweet and very loving, and they're your friend, right? And actually, you're the same. You're similar. You are both little freaky dark animals. For that, I love it. But you can already hear, hopefully, hopefully I don't sound completely strange or crazy, although, you know, a lot of people might think I'm crazy, but who cares what a lot of people think? A lot of people are stupid. So it's a little bit of a repeat deck. That's the thing. I have it because I want it, because I recognize that realm that I've made, the world building around Triomphe della Luna. Here's the purple one that I love so much and visit so often. Crow's Magic, I also decided it's part of the same world or very similar. I want it. I don't need it. I think that's really it. Because I don't really see, honestly, if I didn't have any knowledge of the tarot, how the image truly relates to the meaning of the card. I can see, I can count 10 cups, okay, and I can imagine that this is a beautiful, I don't know, fountain or something. 10 of Cups, fulfillment. Yet, do I really see fulfillment in this card? No. I see a funky little creature. This is so typically the type of deck that, yes, of course you can scry. Maybe I do that sometimes as well, but the image and the words are not really related. The only reason I truly know what the card means it's because it tells me this is the Four of Swords. I can see four swords, but then still, like the rest, like look at it more closely, the rest I have to imagine. So you could say that's a huge flaw in a tarot deck. By the way, this is also tarot/oracle, right? Because it's so wacky. Yeah, I agree. It is a huge flaw for a regular tarot deck. And this is a very irregular tarot deck. And yeah, I treasure it. Yes, I do. I'm really happy to have it. And truly, I should read with it more often. Yeah. But this doesn't really feel like a multiple, you know, like having pulling a full spread. It feels more like pulling one or two cards at the end of a tarot reading. So basically using it as most people use oracle decks. But I so don't mind. I really do enjoy it a lot. And also the titles, by the way, the Forked Road, that's pretty magical. And hello, the Ace of Coins, the moving form. Yes. You know, so maybe I was a little bit too harsh. Maybe in a way it does elevate my practice with those titles that do give me something that I maybe hadn't considered before. But the disconnect between image and what the tarot card is supposed to be, yeah, it's pretty obvious. And I can totally understand that this deck is not for everybody. But it truly feels like I've adopted a bunch of ugly, stinky puppies. Do you now know what I mean? This is how I feel about this deck. Another deck that has huge disconnect between some images and some tarot cards is obviously Ancient Mysteries Tarot deck. This is another one nobody likes, except for one other person on YouTube who's also very much into Thoth. Remind me who that is. We like her, okay? Four of Water. Okay. I see 4 streams. Got it. But when you see the 5 of Water, it's 5 streams. And when you see the 7 of Water, it's 7 streams. And I really fail to see how that gives me anything in a reading. And I totally knew this when I bought this deck. Although, did I? I thought maybe there would be a little bit more variety. Because look, you also have cards like 7 of Earth. Now, honestly, it looks like a block in the road. So, I'm not quite sure if that's truly 7 of Coins. Here we have 3 of Air. Yeah. Does that give you any indication on the meaning of the card? No. 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 And here we have, what's that? 6 of Air? Maybe with the shape. Here we have the 7 of Air. So, yeah. That's on me. I get it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this deck because I do like those images, actually. I love history and mystery around history and just ancient stones and ancient civilizations and our speculations on them and how advanced they were and what their spirituality was, why they chose certain sites to put their sacred things, and how long ago all of this truly was, etc. So for that, I'm enjoying the hell out of this deck. But I do know it has some really, really serious flaws. So I don't really know. Should I maybe be bold and collage something that is meaningful to me about what the 6 of Swords could be? Collage it over top this card, like I don't know, 6 of Air, that's science, right? Knowledge. Or maybe even just 6 swords in a very pippish way. That would help me out. I'm a Marseille reader. Little update, some decks are going quite quickly. There's some interest in the decks that I'm selling. Your bids basically are going directly into the camper van, stuff that needs to be fixed, but also just stuff that still needs to happen. So I definitely appreciate interest in those vintage decks that I share in the previous video. Little update, this deck is also going. I've had it for such a short amount of time. You see, this is kind of funky, but I was on the hunt for Oracle. This is the Oracle that I got this year. And some parts were really good. Some parts we all kind of saw coming. This one's not here to stay. So if you want it, it's here for you. I have to say it's really lovely. The artwork is enchanting and it's a beautiful black and white deck. It's just that I am feeling so oracle right now. Not like I'm an oracle, but I want to work more with oracle decks. These days, I'm kind of missing getting some really, really good and helpful messages from Oracle. So I've been using Secret Pocket Oracle. And this one is amazing. Okay, I really love this. And I mean, talk about training your intuition. Also, though, it's kind of minimal, kind of minimalistic deck, which is part of its strength. Don't get me wrong. What am I trying to say? I wish that I would fall in love with an oracle deck the way I fell in love with Ritual Tarot at the time, where it just took me so by surprise. I had no idea someone was making such an incredible work of art, and oh my god, I'm gonna have it in my hands and work with it. You know, that's what I want. I only bought myself one deck this year, and it's going. Is that true? Maybe I also got myself, was it this year? I lose track of time. The vintage pocket tarot, which is Rider-Waite-Smith pocket deck that I've made, that it's available on Make Playing Cards as well. So yeah, I don't know if that was this year or last year, but I've been reading with Secret Pocket Oracle and with Magical Guidance cards, which I didn't get, but it's the deck that I've made. That's like the real deck that I've really made. So the Rider-Waite-Smith one is just scans of a vintage deck that I did color in by hand, and I did edit all the titles and the backs, so it is special and it is sort of one of a kind, right? Magical Guidance cards, I started off by thinking of all the words. It's a deck that is made for aiding the magical practitioner in their magical workings. It works so well as an oracle deck as well, just to read with. I came up with all the words first, grouped them, took all the photos myself at night because I wanted that magical energy, and then I edited them all. And it's 90 cards. That's a fuck ton. That's a lot. And I am so happy with the outcome. My main 3 decks now, it's Triomphe de la Luna, Paradoxical, Crow's Magic Tarot, Magical Guidance cards. It's just the way it should be. I have been browsing online to find a new oracle deck. What I saw, some things are nice. The Craft Decadence looks cool. On the other hand, I'm a little worried that it's too cute for me. Yeah, I know. Nobody talks about that deck and thinks cute, but I look at the images and the little border and all the purple and stuff. It's a little cute. It's maybe a little bit too cutesy for me, even though it's really smart. It's really smart. I like the words, the weird words, and I love all those berries that they put in. It's nice digital collage. I like that. But yeah, maybe not. And that's the one that I almost bought from Game Crafters, right? And then there's also Make Playing Cards. I've been browsing, guys, and I think there are some really cool things out there, but also a lot of decks I find and I'm not quite sure of, and I think, okay, I might try them out, and then I see things like, oh, it's all images found online, nothing against that, obviously, but then you expect, because of the quality that you get, right, the amount of work that it was, you expect a certain price range, and then you click on buy and it's like a 60 euro deck. That, I mean, is everybody on Make Playing Cards making like 20-25 euros profit off of every single deck they sell? That sounds like crazy lot. Like for Magical Guidance cards, I make 5 euros a deck with all images I made. Okay, no shade, really not. Everybody does their own thing. It's just I've been browsing all the Oracle decks on Make Playing Cards and Game Crafters. By the way, Craft Decadence, Really good price point. Agree with that. But do you see what I mean? Like, that's a deck where it's obvious a lot of work went into it. How much profit are they making? Probably like 7, 8 euros. Actually, no, there's a tuck box on there and it's linen. Maybe like me, 5 euros a deck. Well, that's good for everybody, right? It's good for the customer, so it's relatively affordable. And it's good for the maker because their decks are being sold. It's not, I don't know, so out of reach. Yes, I posed for the camera. Hi, editing Anna here with a glass of red wine. Cheers, everybody. It's the evening, so yeah, allowed to do that. And this is last minute filming, last minute editing, okay? This is after work and after taking my own dance class. Woo. Okay. I really felt the need to jump in here because right before work, right there, as I filmed, I was going on and on and on about price point and about what makers decide, how they make their decks and stuff. And I respect all of it, okay? Everybody's allowed to price their own work according to their own value system, I guess. For me, my strategy, it wasn't even a strategy, but I thought, hey, let's do that. It was a little bit different, right? Because it was magical guidance cards. I'm really proud of that, and I love that people love it. But it started off as a project for me, just for me. And along as I was making it, I thought more and more, this is something that other people are going to want as well. Did that influence my work? No, I made it still for me. But once it was done, that's when I really made the decision to also sell it. So there is no tuck box. It comes in cellophane, right? Or shrink wrapped. So it's not some fancy finished product that you get. What you get is the cards. That's it. That's it. There's no box, nothing, no booklet. There's a PDF guide that you can download or screenshot on my Instagram stories. Or if you get the cards the way that I like them and have them with the text on the back, then all you do need is the cards. I'm just saying it's a little different for sure. Also, I have to admit, now that they are out, I'm enjoying the regular version fine, but I do realize that the linen finish is the quality choice to make. So if you're looking at, at probably any deck on Make Playing Cards, the linen finish shuffles better. I think maybe even the colors look better. And linen finish is a little bit more expensive. So there you go. All of those things, they play a part in the price range. And I'm really not here to say, why are your decks so expensive? It's just from the customer's side because some of us are both, like me, right? You have a couple decks out, but you also buy decks on Make Playing Cards, Game Crafters, whatever. I do feel it just is a luxury product. So I went into it with the idea of I'm going to just try out a deck. And then I saw that it was, well, double the price that I had in mind. So I kind of quickly backed out of it. You know what I mean? And I like that I chose for what I did, which obviously is different than, planning to make a deck for, I don't know, the masses. It just gives me a little bit, and it's, what's it called? Like in the lower price range. It's regularly priced deck, in my opinion. But yeah, lower price range apparently for the people who are interested in it. And I think that's also why um, probably more people just thought, hey, you know what? I'm going to try it out. Might not really be my thing, but I'm going to try it out. Just like I was browsing today. Also, by the way, my cards are poker sized. So that also, all of those things, right? Keep those in mind. So I'm not trying to be a hater. If you have any criticism on what I said, please go ahead. Let me know in the comments if there's something I overlooked or something. I don't want to be judgmental. I just, there are different stances that you can take in this or different points of view. And when you know at least two of those points of views, then maybe sometimes there's a little bit of friction and questions, that's all. So, all right, thanks everybody. Please continue watching the video. And yeah, enjoy your, oh, this is the morning for you, isn't it? Enjoy your coffee. I may be really difficult right now with what else I want to bring into my collection, but lately I haven't been connecting to any new tarot or oracle deck that came out that I'm aware of, obviously. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because I so clearly know what I like, but then also it's just so oversaturated. It's so crazy right now. On one hand, it's good because everybody has a choice. There's something for everyone, but also, how do people do it? How do people just try out every new deck that then also costs 55, 60, 65 and up euros? How do you justify that purchase 4 times a month for just decks that you want to try out? Is everybody so confident that they're gonna be able to resell them? Because I'm not. I'm not. Especially with the ugly ass decks I bring into my home. I enjoy them, but yeah, you can't ever really truly be sure, but you can really have that impression, that feeling of, wow, that's so gonna be amazing. Like Ritual Tarot, like Crow's Magic Tarot. I had not seen all the cards in both of those decks, and they are top 5. Doggy's giving me the side eye. I just walked her. Hey, Snoozy. Hello. So I know this was ranty, but that's how I feel right now. And again, I'm not calling anybody out. I don't know what your price point is. I truly only saw oracle decks made by people I don't know, actually. The only oracle deck that truly blew my mind was the Secret Dakini Oracle, which I still love. Currently, I'm just going through this phase of knowing the cards a little too well, or no, knowing the images a little bit too well. So it's not as impactful at the moment, which is why I'm switching it up with Secret Pocket and yeah, I mean, honestly, Crow's Magic, but who can get enough of that? No one, I know. So Triunfidella Luna Purple is going to give me some advice on how to acquire an incredible oracle deck that I will want to keep for the rest of my life. Seven of Wands. What, fight my way to it? Ugh, courage. Ooh. Yeah, valor. Oh no, I was afraid of this. I really don't want to make my own. By the way, this is truly not an announcement, but how would you feel if I made an oracle deck? I know I already made one, but that wasn't intended as an oracle deck to be read as oracle, even though it works amazing, I know. But how would you feel? How would you feel if the next deck I make is still not a tarot deck? Let me know in the comments, and also please stick around because I will link another video in the screen very soon that you will be able to click on, because I think that you'll like that one as well if you enjoyed this one. We'll hang out soon, and thank you so much for being here. Please check out my Patreon and obviously my deck, my magnum opus so far, Magical Guidance cards. Everything is linked below. Okay guys, also please give me this emoji, the round of applause, if this video is uploaded in time. Okay, thanks so much for doing that, and I'll see you in the comments. Much love. Bye.